I'm going to give you my rant. I'm going to be just raw and real. And we're talking, how much stock do we ever really put in friendlies, right? But this is a friendly that matters. There's only one more before the World Cup, real friendly. So I don't want to hear any excuses of, they've been away for a long time. We have guys. No, this is a World Cup. This is supposed to be a simulation of a group stage match. And if this was the World Cup, we were getting smoked. We are absolutely getting trashed. Horrible. In the first half, you want to talk about players and how many people were talking about Aaron Long. And I don't want to go at players. I'm not having to go at players. But Aaron Long.
A preface. I don't want to say anything about Aaron Long, but Aaron Long is trash. Is that where you want to go?
I'm not saying, but how many giveaways? Because we are not playing to their strengths. We want to talk about building out of the back all the time. How poor was that building out of the back? That's not our strengths. We don't have center backs. We don't have Thiago being able to build out of the back. We don't have Virgil van Dijk. We don't have these players. So let's get them high, get the ball off their feet, even skip them. I don't want to see us building out of the back because
Greg Berhalter said, do not give the ball to our center backs. Do not. If you see them, Matt Turner, kick it long, move
long, get everyone up and then win the second ball and then play because that's when we were at our best.
I fully agree.
We're watching. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, are we still playing out of the back? Stop it.
I know. Though that's the thing. That's what bothers me. No. I just want to jump in because
do you think that's Greg, or do you think that's Greg? Do you think that's Greg saying try? Because we decided, and Charlie, before you came on, we were talking about how we decided a long time ago that would not be our thing as a national team. Because if it was, then those would not be your center backs. If you want guys if you want their primary strength to be playing out of the back, get them off the field because we got much better passers in our national team pool. But we established that these guys brought other strengths to the table. Therefore, get them off the field. If you're going to try to play through it, get them off the field. So there's had to be some sort of mandate of like playing through. Again, I know the press, they were trapping us. They were playing they wanted our center backs to play. Yeah. But us just trying to play underneath constantly was just so predictable that you go, man, who did this? Was it Greg? Was it them?
Zero creativity. So predictable that Japan, we talked about it, they are tactically so sound, organized. They said, okay, U.S. wants to play this way. Beautiful. Come. We're going to allow Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman to try and make the game. Yeah, and as soon as they play that next ball, we are going to absolutely suffocate them. And they're still going to try and play out. They're not going to play long.
Because we're naive.
Oh,
that's our inexperience. For me, this is the first time in a long time, because this did happen before, where our inexperience showed and our lack of adaptability and being able to change on the fly. Like, hey, boys, this isn't working. Let's figure this out. Like in-game management, whether that comes from Greg, whether that comes from the players. Now, I think Greg could have helped there because he could have screamed to everybody and they could have heard him because the stadium wasn't full.
Anybody could have done that, Jimmy. Anybody could have just said, put the ball down. All of you, go stand up at the half line. I'm going to kick it up there. We're going to battle for those things, and we're going to stop this right now. Even if they said, do it over and over again, keep trying to play. Even if they said that, challenge yourself against the press. At a certain point, you go, yo, this ain't working.
This isn't working.
We need another plan.
Right. And why isn't that talked about though? Why isn't that should be automatic, dude? Why are we waiting until 90 minutes now before the World Cup starts to solve this kind of shit? It drives me insane.
Yes, and let me get into the attacking half. I'm not even getting started yet because now I'm about to get ticked off. We're talking about Gio Reyna, who is of the players on the pitch, the best dribbler, the best 1v1 player, who is now isolated if you're playing on the left, and he comes inside. Sam Vines was scared to get in the attack, so he didn't even look like he was comfortable playing, right? So you bring Gio Reyna in. Luca Della Torre was so slow laterally because you're asking him to cover ground, which is not his strength. You have to be in possession for Luca Della Torre to be good. We were not in possession because we're giving the ball away before we even got to the midfield. And if it did get to the midfield, we're asking Weston McKennie to be the creative attacking midfielder when he is more of a aerial duel guy, breaking up plays guy, set piece guy.
Arriving late.
Not somebody who's dribbling and making the game. That's not where his strengths are. That's why Juve love him, because he's just breaking up plays. Get it off his foot. done. He's not doing anything else. And then he'll arrive late.
Do you feel like when he wears the US shirt, we saw this with Christian, that he feels like he's got to do that because maybe he doesn't feel like some of the other players are capable?
They probably asked him to do that because you have no Christian Pulisic, you have no attacking midfielder. You have
hey,
no
but Charlie,
Yunus
even
Musa.
if we had Christian Pulisic today, Christian Pulisic would have done the same thing as Gio Reyna did. Come back deeper, trying to help the team. Get the ball deeper, Yeah, he would have broken the press on the dribble, but Christian Pulisic ain't making that run over the top that stretches these defenses. This was as simple as, I said this again before you were on the show, Charlie. There was a start of the second half. We just lumped the ball forward. Josh Sargent turned around and just chased the ball to the defender, put him under pressure. He made one pass. The next guy kicked it out of bounds. Now we had the ball in the throw in like 3/4 up the field for us to be in a decent spot. Now, do you want to do that forever? No. But when you need to do that and stretch them and force them to be to play honestly and just move your team up in a different position on the field, it worked. It was horribly ugly. I get that. But it worked. And it worked because literally just lumped the ball into the corner. They pressed them. We got the ball back in a good spot as opposed to just doing the same thing we always did and getting what we always got.
Yes. And if we're going to play this way, I just see what Christopher Watkins said. Then, Tim Ream should be on this team. Yeah, Tim Ream is the most gifted player on the center back on the ball. He's slow as hell.
No, John Anthony Brooks can move the ball and pass the ball and break lines better than anybody I've seen in our national team history in terms of his passing through lines.
Then they should be on the team if that's what we're going to do. But
fully agree.
If in terms of 1v1, how many times did we see our player get the ball, face up a Japan defender, 1v1, create something? None? Once?
No,
and that was Brent Aronson who got the shot off.
Gio had a good action in the first half.
No, but that was side to side. That wasn't 1v1 in the
No, but he got into the attacking third and crossed it and it got cleared. And then De La Torre did something similar. Listen, it's all early in the game when Japan hadn't figured this out yet.
You could count it on one hand.
Sure. Oh, you can. You definitely count it on one hand. But I don't want to say it didn't happen when I saw it once or twice. And again, both of those final actions, though, were crosses that were not good, where we're low on the ground, and Japan easily cleared it. So it wasn't like they turned into something too dangerous. But what I find really interesting is, are we set up to play a 4-3-3 with the best collection of guys? I mean,
not today. I can tell you that. If Yunus Musa is on the pitch, it makes a big difference. If you have Timo Weah, it makes a big difference. I'm not so sure Anthony Robinson makes a big difference because in this game, the center backs were giving the ball left and right. And so it was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But they did a good job of keeping us pinned in the left back spot. Those Sammy Vines did look a little nervous.
I would say this, though, for all the people, all the people who watch this show, they're always talking about Jordan Pifok scoring goals. We talk about it. Serginho Dest gets in the position that you want him in. He plays that cross. You talk about setting the tone early. That goal where Jesus Ferreira absolutely gets all of it and heads it over. I had a text message saying, it was over him and he's too short. No, it wasn't over him. It's about timing. What are you talking about? He does a great job. I heard you talk about pulling off the defender. Great. But the timing was not there. You can't jump off off the back foot and expect to get on top of the ball. Now, if we had Jordan Pifok in there, I know he wouldn't start in this game. Even if he was called in the camp, he's not starting in this game. But having a striker who is capable of being dominant in the air and putting that header on target, I don't care if it's saved, but put it on target, then we're like, okay, I can live with that. But Jesus Ferreira, I know he's in form in the MLS. I know he's done a relatively good job playing in this system, but you got to finish your chances. I don't care. This is match after match after match. We talk about
Ricardo Pepe would finish that.
There's our Pepe stand. Humor me here because we did play a 3 in the back against Mexico in the Nations League final. Okay. And I know that is going to look or be frowned upon because McKenzie ended up making a mistake there and then they scored an early goal. And it's like, all right, well, this system doesn't work anymore. But sometimes I wonder, because if you can have Dest higher up the field at that left, the right wing spot, and you have Anthony Robinson in that left wing back spot, and then you have 3 center backs. Now you have to sacrifice somebody in the middle to make this happen.
3 center backs. But we aren't good with 2. You want to go 3?
Well, 3 gives us more stability though, because then you don't have to get Dest and Anthony don't have to do as much work. I'm just throwing this out there to talk about it because
I like that from a stability standpoint. The problem is, and I tried to argue this yesterday, and somebody just beat me down with it with really good points, which was you got to take one of your best players off the field.
No, I get
the U.S. men's national team's best capability is the players we have in the attack, right? So who are you going to sacrifice? Musa McKinney Adams, right? And then if you had Serginho Dest and Robinson higher up the field to get your 3 center backs on the field, who are you taking out? Because you can't have Reyna, you can't have Aronson, you can't have
we have to take out one of those guys anyway,
and you can't have Christian Pulisic. So we're already sacrificing 2 of our 4 best players because we can't find them in a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3. A 4-3-3. So if you go to a back 3, we're sacrificing another one of those players to get them on the field.
I get it. Can't do it.
No, I don't think you can do it either. But I think, given that our current center backs that are in our pool, if you just had 3 of those guys, we saw it in the back 3 today in the second half.
We need Charlie's 14 players on the field.
Well, we do.
We can play with the back 3 if we are allowed to play with 13.
We need that Todd Bowling 4-4-3 at Chelsea. Yeah. But I don't know. I just think, or there has to be a more of an emphasis on.
Oh gosh, today was painful.
It was painful.
It was painful.
We needed it. We needed it, Charlie. I tweeted it out. I said it earlier. We needed to get slapped in the face before the World Cup started.